What you're about to hear is disturbing, but it's important. In 2022, Daniela Gallegos, she fell into a coma at a New Mexico hospital and was allegedly going to have her organs
I was here for this.
harvested. On the day of the surgery, Daniela's family reported seeing her move. According to the New York Times, donor officials allegedly still pushed for the operation despite signs of life. The hospital refused. Daniela reportedly went on to make a full recovery. Now, this case is not the only one. In 2021, a Kentucky man named TJ Hoover was rushed to the hospital after a suspected overdose. Doctors believed he wouldn't survive and flagged that he was an organ donor. TJ was moments away from the organ harvesting procedure.
Y'all are telling me they're using us for our organs? Hmm. Wow. I was blessed. I was in a motorcycle crash doing a, you know what I'm saying? I was on the two wheels. I don't do the four. I was on the two wheels. Someone put out in front of me. I was in a really bad motorcycle crash, lost my spleen, you know what I'm saying? Punctured my lung, broke my leg in like 8 spots. We don't talk about that. But anyway, scratched up my whole body. Now I look like a Maserati. Anyways, look foreign. I don't look normal. What I'm trying to say is, I was this close. Well, I was dead. I was dead. But they brought me back, and then they saved my life. Y'all telling me they doing this? That gives me cold chills.
Suddenly, he
Whew.
woke up. Fortunately, TJ survived, but he lives
I was down for at least a week before I was actually like up. Had blood all in my lungs. They had to take a tube, stick it down my throat. For real. They put me under for it, but they stuck a tube down my throat and then it went into my left lung. Look like y'all right, but it's my left. It went into my left lung and then sucked all the blood out. And then I had a bag full of blood just just sitting next to me. And they was like, "Yep, this was in your lung." I was like, "Oh, the fuck am I do with it? Like, y'all want me to keep it, take it home? No, bro, get that up out of here." But that's how that went. What I'm trying to say is I was, I guess, just a different town, but that could have been me. Well, I ain't on that list, but that could have been. If I was an organ donor, you telling me I'd be.
with PTSD since that day. Meanwhile, a federal investigation into nonprofit group Kentucky Organ Donor Affiliates, also known as CODA, may have pushed hospital workers towards surgery despite a patient's signs of life. HHS Secretary RFK Jr. calling it horrifying. We
Y'all are telling me I wasn't an. If I was an organ donor, I wouldn't be here. What? I didn't. I don't have a heart on my ID. I don't got the little red. I don't.
reached out to CODA for a statement, and Network for Hope, which CODA merged into last year, but we have not heard back. It's important to remember organ donations do play a vital role in our society when done appropriately. There were over 48,000 life-saving transplants in 2024. But I had a chance to speak with advocates for organ donation reform and TJ Hoover's sister, Donna Rohr, and Federation of American Scientists Senior Fellow Jennifer Erickson. And here's our conversation. Donna, thank you for being with us here today. Jennifer, you as well. I'd love to start with you, Donna. This is an absolutely terrifying story.
Absolutely.
Tell us.
More like a horror movie.
It is almost like a horror movie. How did this happen?
Uh, we're still working on learning how that happened.
From what I understand and from what I've read,
Don't know how it happened, but you just know that it did happen.
at some point in the process, as TJ's being wheeled into the organ harvesting process, his eyes open. He starts tracking people in the hallway. And according to the doctors, correct me if I'm wrong, tell me more, please. He then starts moving on the operating table, at which point they called it.
Yes, almost immediately his eyes started to open. And they wasn't just opening, they were tracking.
Say this. She has no idea what happened. She was not there. Um, but you gotta sell it. You gotta sell it. At the same time, bro's alive and they trying to sell his organs.
And,
Could have been
they
me.
stopped him in the
Could
honor
have been
walk so
me.
the family could say their goodbyes because we could only have 10 people because of, COVID restrictions. So they stopped him so we could say, our goodbyes. The rest of the family could. And the ICU supervisor said sometimes they do respond with reflexes and made us stop recording his honor walk. And
So they explained it.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but y'all telling me in the hospitals we have something called an honor walk when a patient is deceased?
Away.
they explained it away. Correct. Going to stop it. Going to start it harvesting. And about 45 minutes in, a physician finally stopped it and had 3 chairs pulled up for us. And she said, I stopped it. She said, he woke up. He's not ready. That was the response, that we got from it.
Wow.
I don't know if y'all can see because my mouse is probably disappearing. I see bro. Okay. I don't know how far down I gotta go, but this is bro. This is, I guess, Wasputia with a W. Um, anyways, my point being is 45 minutes in, they stopped it. That's how I know she don't know what happened. If they stopped at 45 minutes in, he would have lost his kidneys, he would have lost his spleen, lost his liver. They probably would have already got his heart if it was 45 minutes in.
Wow. So, Jennifer, again, as described by Donna, that is horrifying.
It's corrupt, and they never should have been wheeled in the first place. So let's be really clear. What's happening is dangerous, it's corrupt, and I so appreciate the leadership of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who said this is horrifying and he's going to end it.
I'll just say this. When it comes to the world of doing right, okay, wait. When it comes to the world of doing right versus doing wrong, because I had to do it backwards for y'all, uh, RFK, he's got to do right by himself first, then he can do right by everybody else. Yeah, he gonna try to, but he's not in a position to get things rolling the way he thought he would be.
Let me
That's
get
just
this
how it
straight.
is.
In one state, Kentucky, in 90 days, perhaps as many of 100 of these stories like TJ's, maybe not the exact same details and maybe not officially or pronounced dead, having their organs harvested. Why? What is pushing the incentive, or why is this being?
This process in these more than 100 cases were stopped. It was cases like TJ's where they shouldn't have even been started. What we don't know, what we can't know, and is terrifying, is how many families never found out. How many times
It's very true. How many families did not find out?
could someone have survived and they actually had their organs harvested when they could have walked out of the hospital? I mean, that's even.
And here's why. I know why. It's not that hard. The most expensive surgeries That's why they're doing it. So they can sell the most expensive surgeries to insurance companies, which will pay them, and they're making money off the insurance companies, but they're also making money for them paying for the surgery and then or the procedure. And then they're also making money from the insurance companies because the insurance companies are making money off of you, but they own the insurance company. The people that own this own that, and they're making money off of both. And they're killing you so they can make money off of both.
Scarier, right?
Welcome to
So,
America.
to your good question, how has this
Welcome to
happened?
the world.
Well, right now, there is a network of taxpayer-funded monopoly organ contractors across the United States.
Couldn't have
They
guessed
all
it.
got put there in the 1980s, and never, not once in 40 years, have any of them been replaced. Not when they've done dangerous things like in TJ's case. They've never. This is.
I try to keep him as active as possible. They say, he may be in the early stages of Parkinson's. So his short-term memory, he doesn't really have a short-term memory at all. I try to keep him as active, as I can, and I try to shield him as much as I possibly can, from all the media attention and things like that, because he, some days just he remembers things, and his response is, "Why did they try to kill me? Why did they want to kill me?"
Okay, I think that's awful. I'm sorry, Donna. Thank you for sharing that with us. And that will lead me to my last question here to Jennifer. What is the answer to TJ's question to Donna? Why did they try to kill him? What is the incentive here?
Insurance and medical. You have to get the surgery. Okay. They sell the organ for the surgery. You got to pay your insurance. Insurance pays it, but you got to pay your insurance. It keeps the cycle, the ball rolling. I just said why.
Why is this entire process of harvesting organs being rushed?
Well, sadly, it's money. I mean, we are talking about a multi-billion.
Said it. I said it. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer.
Dollar industry that your viewers, the taxpayers, have funded, and there's never been any consequence for whether these organ contractors do it safely, for whether they lie to families like Donna, to whatever they do. And so there is a rush to keep their lucrative contracts, to keep their really high executive compensation. And the problem is this is a life and death business. And Americans support organ donation. 95% of us support it. Safe.
You click here to subscribe.
Figured that was the end of the video. Told y'all what I think pretty much through most of the through most of the video. Yeah, through most of the video. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.